Hey guys, it's no fun, and it's been a couple of years, and the text to speech game has changed. The whole audiobook game has changed. So, 11 Labs came out a couple of years ago, and they've been pretty good, but they're kind of expensive. But then they came out with their app called 11 Reader, which is free. So now you could read any translated ebook. So I used to do a lot of Japanese light novels that were really popular, that got popular because they're good. And then fan translations came out. So then I used the fan translations to create the audiobooks. But now you don't have to do that. Now you can just, uh, well, you can still get fan translated versions of those books and then run it through the app called 11 Reader, which is free on your on the App Store. So you can do that. And then besides that, if you want to create your own audiobooks, there's so many different kind of services now. So obviously OG is um, 11 Labs. So here I already generated. This is kind of the first part of the prelogue of Overlord. So here, listen to this and tell me how it sounds. So I just picked a voice here, Drew, but let me just play
The
this.
knight in full plate armor stood before the girl and her little sister, his sword raised high. His blade gleamed in the sun, and he poised himself, ready to end their lives in a single merciful stroke. The girl squeezed her eyes tightly shut and bit her lower lip. She had never asked for this. She had been forced into her present circumstances. If only she had some strength, she might have resisted the enemy in front of her and fled. However, the girl did not have that strength.
Okay, and then obviously back in the day, I used Amazon Polly, which still is pretty good. So if I go to the neural version here, and let's go to Joey Mail here, and we'll click listen. This is the same text here. So
The knight in full plate armor stood before the girl and her little sister.
as you can see, it doesn't sound as good. If I do generative here, let's see if that changes. Let's do Matthew Mail.
The knight in full plate armor stood before the girl and her little sister, his sword raised high, his blade gleamed in the sun, and he poised himself.
Yeah, so Amazon Polly, not so good anymore. Sounds very robotic and stuff. So 11 Labs is definitely the better one. The voice I picked was kind of high. So let's pick another voice here so I can show you. Let me see here. How about Ethan?
Yesterday's home.
Whoa.
Gratitude is rich.
I think I saw one that had a deep voice. I think it was Clive or Brian.
The thing always happens that...
Yeah, Brian's pretty good. I think Clive was good. Clyde.
I'd rather regret the things that I...
Yeah, so let's choose this one. Okay, and then I'll generate the speech. So now it's super easy.
The knight in full plate armor.
Yeah, so now I can, super easy, just click, choose a voice, boom, knight in full plate armor. Okay, so let's listen to it.
Stood before the girl and her little sister, his sword raised high. His blade gleamed in the sun, and he poised himself, ready to end their lives in a single merciful stroke. The girl squeezed her eyes tightly shut and bit her lower lip. She had never asked for this. She had been forced into her present circumstances. If only she had some strength, she might have resisted the enemy in front of her and fled. However, the girl did not have that strength.
Okay, so that's 11 Labs. I also found I guess a cheaper version of 11 Labs called Fish Audio. So this is, I think it's a new company. So here I chose a voice ton. So this is more like community driven. I think you can, like, they don't have a lot of like good, I guess, their own voices yet, but the voices here are Mimi. So I'll show you what I mean. So let's play this and see what it sounds like.
The knight in full plate armor stood before the girl and her little sister, his sword raised high. His blade gleamed in the sun, and he poised himself, ready to end their lives in a single merciful stroke. The girl squeezed her eyes tightly shut and bit her lower lip. She had never asked for this. She had been forced into her present circumstances. If only she had some strength, she might have resisted the enemy in front of her and fled. However, the girl did not have that strength.
Okay, so that's one voice. So let me use a different voice now instead. So let me X that, select a voice. So as you can see, when I say Mimi, there's like Elon Musk, President of the United States, energetic male. So you can preview it.
Hey there! After months of intensive
Yeah, that's way too energetic for reading. Uh,
In pursuit of eternity.
okay, so there's that voice.
Okay, you guys literally need to see this new foundation.
Okay, I think someone recreated Adam.
I am Adam
from 11 Labs. This horror one sounds pretty
During
good.
the winter of 1985,
I used Ton here. I think this voice was.
Think about the last time someone tried to rush you into a decision.
Yeah, so let's use this voice, and then regenerate the text for this and see what it sounds like.
The knight in full plate armor stood before the girl and her little sister, his sword raised high. His blade gleamed in the sun, and he poised himself, ready to end their lives in a single merciful stroke. The girl squeezed her eyes tightly shut and bit her lower lip. She had never asked for this. She had been forced into her present circumstances. If only she had some strength, she might have resisted the enemy in front of her and fled. However, the girl did not have that strength.
Yeah, so a lot of different services do text to speech now. So Fish.audio, 11 Labs, obviously, and Amazon Poly's still there if you want a really super cheap, but it's not as good option. And then there's a bunch of like open source models, but you have to do some programming and but the simple stuff, 11 Labs, if you want to create your own audiobooks. If you just want to read audiobooks, I recommend 11 Lab Reader. So you just go to search here and type in 11 Reader. Okay, so where is it? 11 Read Out Loud. It's from 11 Labs. You can just download the iOS app or the Android app, and basically you can listen to any text, any PDF document in an EPUB that you download to your phone on your phone, and it uses the voices in 11 Labs. Super realistic, and the great thing, it's free. There's other apps out there that cost like $200 a month. You don't have to do that. This is all free. I don't know how they're making money, but 11 Reader, free. And yeah, that's kind of like the state of text to speech now. There's a lot of AI stuff coming out, so in the future, it's going to get better and better. So yeah, I'm happy because I get to listen to all the audiobooks, light novels that are, not translated into English yet, or audiobooks like not official translations. I get to listen to all those audiobooks. So it's been great. And this has been no fun. Bye, guys.